Hey everybody, it's your old pal Chuck, and we're taking a look at a little something different, but very much fun. Very much fun. There's something that's very fun. I'm sorry, I don't know why I said that. We are looking at brand new from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles retro line. This is Mutatin, Bebop, and Rocksteady. Now, these are reissues of Playmates figures from about 94 or so. We already looked at Leonardo some time ago, and I know I need to catch up with the Turtles, but these dropped very surprisingly at the start of the year. Um, Basically, somebody found them in a Target. Um, Took about 2 weeks, and then they started. There were listings online, and then maybe another week after that or so, uh, they popped up or started popping in and out of stock. So I was able to grab them. Now, as I mentioned, these were found at Target. I bought these from Target.com, but unlike the Turtles, they do not have the Target exclusive uh, sticker, the Ninja Clan or whatever Order of the Ninja line. So it's very possible these are going to be showing up at other retailers. Now, as I speak, apparently Walmart also has their uh, retro fast mutating night ninjas. They got, I think, Leo and Donatello, or Leo and Raphael are the first ones out, but those are a Walmart exclusive. And those are a bit different from these. These are basically, um, with the turtles, it was turtle, uh, actual turtle to the bipedal character we know. With these, it's Bebop and Rocksteady changing from their human forms into the warthog and rhino that we know. And I have to say, I didn't have these back in the day, but I am very impressed by them. Um, Yet, don't expect a lot of articulation, but um, every accessory you see here um, stores on or in the figure. Now, I should mention both of them come with a mutagen canister, much like the turtles. So it's nice you can get a little collection of those going. I didn't take those out because they don't really store in the figure and I didn't want them rolling around. But, you can look up and see what the mutagen looks like. A few things also to note before we get into the individual look at the figures. They come Bebop comes packaged with the drill and shiv detached from the foot. That can actually they just uh, slot in little. There's a little couple pegs, and they go into little holes there. But they do flip in, and the grenade and bomb here on Rocksteady, uh, unfortunately, those come separate. They actually snap on to a metal hook, so they can rotate in. Now, in Rocksteady's case, unfortunately, the figure cannot hold either the sewer bomb or the green grenade. In fact, they even mention in like reading the back of the box, it says, "Oh, it's so spiky, Rocksteady can't hold it." So there you go. But other than that, we'll pause and we'll come back and take a look at Bebop. Fun little aside, I never had the original Bebop or Rocksteady figures growing up. In fact, I've actually never even bought any of the reissues. In fact, I haven't bought any reissue Turtles, period. The mutating line I got into because I remember that was something that I was wanted as a kid, but I just never got. And I was very much into them. Same thing with the storage shells, but those I haven't picked up yet. I can probably get them off of Amazon. So this is my first time experiencing the figures. Now, what I can tell you is this is fairly good representation of how Bebop looked between the toy and the cartoon. This being a later figure, they were able to perfect the design a little from what the original uh, designs were. Although I think the pink of the shirt is a little off. I think it should be white. And also, the original figure, the character never had the toe weapons, but you figure they had to give him a little something extra. But it is very nice, and realistically, here, if you don't like them, yeah, oh, whichever head's a transformation, flip those in, boom, there's your Bebop. And I think this would work very well as a Bebop. Now, these figures generally have the 5 points of articulation, The arms can move, the legs can swivel. Uh, that's more, I think, comes in handy with Rocksteady. We'll see a little bit later. Now, the head should rotate, but because of the nature of Bebop's transformation, the shoulder pads are actually pegged into the neck, so the head cannot rotate. So you're missing that point of transformation. And speaking of the transformation, let's just get right into it. First thing, you want to remove the weapon. Uh, this is a TV camera that's made to look like Bebop's drill gun, the iconic drill gun. Just take the handle, rotate it forward, the drill retracts, and it's a little bit of a television camera. We'll get to that in its human mode. If you haven't already, flip those drill bits, the little foot weapons in. Now coming around to the back here is its tail. And let me tell you, getting this out, I actually scuffed the plastic a little. A heavy amount of paint was actually holding this in, and I had to get my spudger to get it out. But what you want to do is bring it down a little, rotate it around, and then it's like soft plastic on hard plastic, and then just go ahead and fold it up. If it pops forward a little, fold it up. It should just fold flush between the legs right there. And as you can see, right there is where I scuffed some of the plastic trying to get it out. But do that. And then what we can do is come here, open up the forearms, and you're going to rotate the pull up and rotate the warthog hands around into the human hands and snap that shut. Do it again on this side. And you'll see that how the gripping hands have switched sides. That's a little bit of a, they do that also on Rocksteady. So it's, I guess, one of those little things. So just make sure that it closes. And then what you're going to do is pull on the back of the shirt, and then you can rotate the head back slightly and pull open the front. Now, before you start flipping anything around, you want to go ahead and rotate these very soft rubber shells up to the side of Bebop's head. Rotate the head backwards and around until the human head comes up. Close up the back panels, just like so. Make sure everything's snapped and pegged into place. And there you have Bebop in its human form, which I think we kind of saw in the cartoon for like 2 seconds. Now, the figure can hold the television camera, although it doesn't do it that well. Nature of the Beast for a early 90s figure. I mean, and as you can see, it's a little offside. So you can try and like get it to angle so he sort of looks through it, but like the viewfinders, the eyepiece is on the wrong side. So it's just that. And to be honest, I've never known Bebop to be a camera person, but as you can see, the human head can rotate, so you do get that point of articulation. And also, if you so desire, you can just have him hold the camera uh, by the grip up there. So very nice. Um, really cool looking. I mean, it's nice to have. I honestly think at one point in the cartoon they did revert back to being human, but that was like, uh, for an episode. So to go back to the mutant mode, take the camera, pull the handle back. That will bring the drill out. Um, Open up the back section here. Open up the front section. The head will start to fall back, so I'll give you a little space to do it. Bring the head back. Rotate the mutant head up into place. Bring these shoulders down. Close up the back section, and then carefully close up the front. Make sure it doesn't pinch the shoulder pads. Open up the forearms. Lift, press, close, lift, press, close, and rotate. Come underneath. Yeah, see, now that I've loosened it up, it's a little bit easier. Bring the tail out. Um, on this one, I kind of like have to halfway rotate it and then rotate the tail around, but bring it up like that. And in the packaging, that's actually folded up. And then come underneath here, flip out the drill, flip out the shiv, and finally just give Bebop his weapon. So there you go. and we're back into mutant form. Really nice, really cool, great figures to have. So let's pause and we'll take a look at Rocksteady. I've always had more of an affection for Rocksteady. I think that has to do with just playing the games, like the original Turtles Game Boy game. And I just remember Rocksteady as the first level boss. Fairly easy to deal with. Just, you know, use your sword, slash its blasts, its his shots, jump over him when he charges, slash him from behind, repeat. I still remember that. I also think this figure tends to be a bit more expressive than Bebop, and that's because the Rhino head can rotate. Now, full disclosure, one thing that does disappoint me is, as you can see, Rocksteady is holding its weapon a little off center and a little cockeyed, and that's basically because the handle doesn't come down far enough to get a proper grip, and even if it did, there's a trigger in there that actually prevents uh, the figures wouldn't be able to go through. But this is basically how a lot of '90s figures held their accessories, so I'm kind of used to that. I mean, it is facing forward enough, so there's that. Now to get into the transformation, remove the weapon from the hand. Go ahead and push up on the handle and clip. That will reveal the lunchbox handle right here. I think it's called like the Mutatin Luncher or something. Remove the barrel. It actually does like friction in there very tightly, and there is some marring of the plastic. That will just slide into the side here. Soft. That's actually soft rubber right there, so it holds it kind of well. We'll just put that off to the side right now. And then to get into the transformation proper, a lot of this is going to be the same as Bebop. First thing you want to do, open the forearms, rotate the hands around. As you can see, like on Bebop, the gripping hand and the closed hand is going to change position. Oh, trying to pop that up. Rotate. There we go. And close it up. When dealing with the soft plastic, you might end up with some gapping and stuff, but that is the nature of the beast. Let's make sure I have that in secure as I can. Uh, Next, what you want to do is, again, open up. Oh, let's rotate the tail around. Much easier to do on Rocksteady than it was on Bebop, at least on my copy. Your mileage may vary. You can use the head a little to help push back and open up the back and the front here. Just pull it out like so. Go ahead, rotate the head backwards. There's Rocksteady's natural head. Now, the next step is a little tricky. You want to take these side panels and carefully fold them in so they fit up, they slide up into the cavity there. Don't push them in too far so you won't be able to get them out. You might want to move the arms out of the way to do it. And then once it's done, try to close this up so stuff doesn't pinch like it's happening here. Oh, God. Uh, just like that, just like that. And I think I got it. Yep. Oh, no, this side, it's pinching a little. Yeah. There we go. There we go. Soft rubber, so just don't let it pinch. But the last step is opening up these panels here. And this was the first figure I opened, and I got to say this really impressed me. That even these little dinky explosives, they were even a place for him. You put them in his pocket, and there you go. There's Rocksteady in its human form. The eye looks a little dead, but can hold its lunchbox. Now, of course, the problem becomes because of how this arm is bent, you end up bringing the arm back a little for a natural pose, a little past the center of gravity. So with these legs, you just rotate them around and that'll bring it forward. So, yeah, you can get them holding the lunchbox like that, but now the figure has to haunch a little forward. Almost kind of looks like that it's meant to do that. Like I can see the eyes being painted upward. But of course, if that's just too much for you, just have them hold the lunchbox off sides like that. Now, of course, this is a little bit different from the traditional look of Rocksteady, I should mention. I don't remember, unless it got it later on, it didn't have this green jacket, or the green jacket mutated into a vest. Obviously, they couldn't go that far with the clothing. Although I want to say the best action line, because they've done Bebop and Rocksteadies that you can mutate, they just swapped the parts, so they might be able to do that. But to go back to the Rhino mode, remove the lunchbox from the hand, remove the thermos, push down on the grip there to reveal the rifle grip, knock the figure over, pop this in. Uh, the finger hold of the thermos is actually supposed to be angling up. That's going to be the sight. So there's your food cannon, whatever the heck they call it. Pick the figure up, uh, pop it open. Again, if you can rock the head back and forth, that'll help. Uh, flip the front half of Rocksteady is actually on a track, so you can pull it out slightly and rotate it down. Rotate the head back, bring it up into position. Don't forget to grab these little side shell armor bits, kind of iconic to the character, and then close the panel up. Uh, the head should, if the head, there's a little gappage here, the head does lock into place on that platform, so you do have that. Uh, can come down here, flip out the grenade, flip out the sewer shredding mine or bomb or whatever the heck they call it. I mean, it's all these cool names on the packaging. It's kind of nice. And then before we flip out the hands, let's not forget the tail. I always forget the tail. I have a tall tail to share. Now flip out the hands, as again we'll see that the again the grips change position, just like that, just like that. And again, I mean, these guys do a better job storing their weapons than even the turtles do. So that is something. Uh, and then, of course, just wedge that into the hand, and Rocksteady's ready to rock. I guess by the time that Rocksteady and Bebop, these mutating figures came out, the original figures were off the market, and this for a lot of kids who are getting into the line were their Bebop and Rocksteady. So that's kind of cool. Sort of like how um, Battle Armor, He-Man, and Skeletor for a lot of kids were the actual their He-Man and Skeletor. So I think we'll pause right now, and we'll come back with my final thought. They're crude, rude, not that bright, but these two are some of the most iconic, or two of the most iconic, I should say, henchmen of the late 80s and the 1990s. The fact that Bebop and Rocksteady were, when they weren't in the films, there was a demand for them. Every Turtle series, you wonder if there's going to be a Bebop and Rocksteady. Um, Kind of just shows you how memorable they are. These figures are fun. They do give you that articulation of the classic figures. I know in this modern age of multiple points of articulation, uh, they might be seen as a step down, but I enjoy them. And by the way, I almost forgot to mention, they do have peg holes at the bottom of their feet, so they are compatible with the various vehicles that vintage or reissue that are out there. I'm not really sure if they've done any reissues of Foot Clan vehicles, but I know there's a couple turtle ones like the Party Wagon, the Blimp. I think they just did like one of the skateboards. So yeah, keep it. So these figures are meant for play. I mean, to interact above and beyond the mutating gimmick. Um, I mean, do I feel the accessories were a little lacking? Kinda, but you got what was iconic to them and what they needed. And, at the price point, these are like under $20 each. I don't know how Playmates does it, and they keep the prices down on their retro line. Uh, it's just amazing. And I'm looking forward to seeing what they're going to do next. There's a possibility we're going to get an April and a Splinter, or maybe a Splinter and Casey Jones. I'm not really sure how April would mutate, but yeah, there's that. And then, I even heard some rumblings that maybe they might go to the next level and do like the vehicles, the turtles that turned into vehicles. I mean, it really, I mean, as someone who's predominantly a Transformers channel, this just shows like even as Transformers were waning or even off the market, their influence stayed. That almost every toy line at some point had a transforming gimmick. Right now, these figures are being found at Target. If you find them elsewhere, please feel free to share. As I said, I'm not sure if these are Target exclusives, so there is that. But for right now, they're being found at Target, and I definitely think they're worth a purchase. Especially if, like me, these were figures you didn't get to experience way back when, and you can enjoy them now because there's a lot of interesting engineering that was very advanced for the time and stuff you really don't even see today. So that's about it for the review. If you like this review, like, comment, and subscribe. Your views are always appreciated, but the comments and subscriptions help with the algorithm. If you want to make the ultimate sign of support, I do have a Patreon. It is www.patreon.com/chuckdog1999. All I ask for is $1 a month, $12 a year. No thrills, no tears, no special rewards. All you're doing is helping me help you to help me help you bring figures like this to you, as well as keeping up the infrastructure of the channel. But as I always say, if you can't swing the $1 a month or $12 a year, your views are more than thanks enough. Patreon is just a cherry on top of an already generous Sunday. We had a great end to 2023, and 2024 has been starting off rather well as too. So let's keep it wheels going. I know this isn't the usual kind of review, but if you stuck here to the end, I do appreciate it. So once again, for mutating Bebop and Rocksteady, we will see you next time.